U.S. Representative Tulsi Gabbard has become quite the popular figure in the progressive movement, ever since she decided to step down from her position of vice chair of the Democratic Party in order to endorse and support Bernie Sanders for his run for presidency during the 2016 Democratic primaries, at a time when very few politicians were willing to support Bernie. Now, going up against Hillary in the establishment had its consequences. Check out this email Tulsi received in response after her endorsement of Bernie. Representative Gabbard, we were very disappointed to hear that you would resign your position with the DNC so you could endorse Bernie Sanders, a man who has never been a Democrat before. For you to endorse a man who has spent almost 40 years in public office with very few accomplishments doesn't fall in line with what we previously thought of you. Hillary Clinton will be our party's nominee, and you standing on ceremony to support the sinking Bernie Sanders ship is disrespectful to Hillary Clinton. You have called both myself and Michael Kives before about helping your campaign raise money. We no longer trust your judgment, so will not be raising money for your campaign. Now, this email was sent by Darnell Strom, who is apparently a member of CAA, Creative Artists Agency, which is a very influential talent and sports agency. Michael Kives, who was also referenced in the email, then forwarded this email to John Podesta, who was the chairman to Hillary's 2016 presidential campaign, and to what appears to be Uma Abedin, who was vice chair to Hillary's 2016 presidential campaign, with the caption, "Hammed dropped." I'm guessing that was probably a typo, and that he meant to say hammer dropped. So it appears that Hillary's campaign was in on this email, and this was quite the email. I mean, calling Bernie Sanders a sinking ship, saying that Hillary Clinton will be the Democratic nominee, saying that supporting Bernie Sanders was disrespectful to Hillary Clinton, and saying that you no longer trust Tulsi's judgment because Tulsi decided to support Bernie over Hillary, and to say that you are no longer willing to help her raise money as a result. I'm guessing that last part, them not helping Tulsi raise money, is probably what is being referenced to as the hammer being dropped. And I think the logic behind it is that if Tulsi couldn't raise money, she wouldn't be able to get herself reelected, and she would then lose her job. Now, it turns out everything seems to have worked out okay for Tulsi, and in fact, actually for the better. I mean, I wouldn't want those guys to help her raise money anyway. I want her to fund her campaign solely by the people, and now she does, as a member of our revolution. But you know, I don't think there was really any way for her to know for sure that things would work out. She was taking a risk, and according to Tulsi, she knew the risk that she was taking.
What about any retaliation? The Clintons have had a well-oiled machine in Washington for years. Do you fear any retribution from the Clintons, and what's your relationship been like with her?
Well, you know, I was heavily warned by people who care about me to not endorse Senator Sanders because of that fear of retaliation. And look, that fear is something that exists in a lot of folks that I've heard from. There is far too much at stake here to stand on the sideline and let politics get in the way of what's real. And what's real is war and the cost of war. I've seen and felt that cost firsthand through my service and my deployments to the Middle East, and I cannot stand on the sidelines and do nothing when we have a clear choice that many people are not informed about. There are very stark differences between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that people know what those differences are so they can at least make an educated and informed decision.
For the record, this interview was conducted shortly after Tulsi received the aforementioned email. I just love her answer, how she was willing to essentially risk her career in order to stand by her principles. And according to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the recent winner of the Democratic primary in New York's 14th Congressional District, there are a lot of politicians who are forced to choose between their jobs and doing what they think is right.
Well, I think what we're dealing with right now is the dynamics of power. Once someone has power, it is so hard to challenge it, even if you think that that other person was right. So I can't tell you how many times I would talk to people. People were afraid to even take pictures with me in public because of what that could mean.
Wow.
And
What kind of candidates?
like local city council members and state
Wow.
assembly
The party
members, 'cause
apparatus,
there was a
right?
machine, there was a party apparatus, and you can't challenge the boss because then my job's going to be at risk.
Wow.
And so there were so many people behind closed doors that said, I want to support you, I believe you are what's best, but I can't because my job will be at risk.
In Alexandria's case, apparently, there was no one willing to risk their job in order to stand with her, even though there were people who, according to Alexandria's account, wanted to support Alexandria and thought she was what was best for her district. But Tulsi did. She was willing to risk it all for what she believed was right. She showed so much courage and so much integrity. We need a lot more people like her in Washington. Hey guys, if you want to help out this show, you can follow our various social media links. Also, we have a Facebook group that you can join as well. And if you want to follow me on social media, you could do that as well. Alright guys.